Hello everyone, welcome again on my channel Mind-Blowing Facts to today's video, a very special one at that. We're about to hear some powerful life lessons from a remarkable woman, someone who has lived through decades of experience and is about to share with us some wisdom we may never have considered before. This is the story of a 76-year-old woman who has so much to teach us. You'll want to listen closely because, as she says, many don't know this. And trust me, after hearing her, you'll see the world a little differently. Let's dive in. Scene opens in a cozy living room. The elderly woman, let's call her Eleanor, is sitting comfortably with a cup of tea in hand. The host is sitting across from her. Eleanor, it's such an honor to sit down with you today. You've had such a full life, and I know our audience is excited to hear your thoughts on life, love, and everything in between. So let's start with the basics. When people think of advice, they often turn to books, movies, or younger role models. But you're a woman who's seen the world change in ways most of us can't even imagine. What's the most important lesson you've learned in your 76 years? Oh, I'm flattered that you'd ask. Well, I suppose if I had to pick just one lesson, it's this. Don't rush through life. You see, when we're young, we're always looking ahead, chasing the next big thing. But as I grew older, I realized how much we miss by not appreciating where we are right now. Each moment is precious, and it doesn't matter how much you achieve or how fast you get there. What matters is that you stop and take it all in. You have to be present. When I was younger, I didn't understand that. I was always on the go, always striving for something bigger. But as the years went by, I learned that the best parts of life are in the small, quiet moments, like sitting here with you, sharing this tea. That's such beautiful advice. We live in a world where everyone is chasing something, success, fame, money. It's refreshing to hear you say that the key is to just be present. Now, Eleanor, I know you've experienced a lot in your life. Can you share with us some of the challenges you've faced and how you've overcome them? Oh, there have been many. Life isn't a straight path, you know. There were days when I thought I couldn't make it, days when I felt like I had lost everything. But what I've learned is this: there is always a way through. When you hit a wall, it's easy to give up or feel stuck. But sometimes you have to take a step back, breathe, and look at things from a new perspective. I've had to rebuild my life a few times, after losing my job, after heartbreak, even after losing loved ones. But through it all, I realized that life keeps moving, and so should we. We don't always have control over what happens to us, but we do have control over how we respond. That's the secret, my dear. Keep moving forward, even if it's just one small step at a time. That's incredibly powerful. It's about resilience, isn't it? The ability to keep going despite the tough times. I'm sure many people watching are feeling inspired just hearing this. Eleanor, you've also mentioned something about the importance of relationships, how they shape who we are. Can you tell us more about that? Our relationships. I could talk about them for hours. You know, when you're young, you think that the world revolves around you, or at least it should. But the truth is, it's the people in your life who make it all worthwhile. When I look back, it wasn't the big accomplishments that made me the happiest. It was the connections I made with others, family, friends, even strangers who showed kindness. But of course, relationships aren't always easy. There have been times when I've been hurt, disappointed, and even betrayed. But as I got older, I learned not to hold on to grudges. Life is too short for that. You have to forgive, not for the other person, but for yourself. Letting go of anger and resentment gives you freedom. It allows you to focus on the people who matter and cherish those bonds. Forgiveness, such a powerful concept, and it's often easier said than done, isn't it? But it seems like it's one of the keys to living a fulfilled life. Now, speaking of the passage of time, how do you view aging? Some people fear it, others embrace it. You've lived through so many stages of life. How do you feel about getting older? Oh dear, I've had my moments, believe me. When you're younger, you think you're invincible. But as you age, you start to notice little things, aches and pains, forgetfulness, wrinkles. And yes, it can be frustrating at times. But honestly, there's something quite beautiful about aging. You gain perspective. You realize what truly matters. You stop worrying about things that don't make a difference and focus on what brings you joy. And let me tell you, I've learned to appreciate the little things, sunsets, a good book, a cup of coffee with a friend. Aging isn't something to fear. It's just another part of life's journey. And I wouldn't change a thing about my story. That's such an inspiring way to look at it. I love how you've turned something many fear into something empowering. Eleanor, as we wrap up, is there any final piece of advice you'd like to share with our viewers? Something that's helped you along the way? Yes, if I could leave one piece of advice with everyone watching today, it would be this: don't be afraid to live fully. So many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment, but the truth is, there's no perfect moment. Life is what you make of it. Take risks, love with all your heart, and don't let fear stop you from chasing what sets your soul on fire. And remember, every day is a new chance to start fresh. Don't waste it. Embrace it. Eleanor, you've truly given us a treasure trove of wisdom today. Thank you so much for sharing your heart with us. I know everyone watching will leave here feeling a little wiser and a little more inspired to live their lives to the fullest. It was my pleasure, dear. I'm just happy to share what I've learned. We all have something valuable to offer, no matter our age. Thank you for joining us today and listening to Eleanor's incredible wisdom. She's a shining example of how life, no matter how long, is filled with lessons if we're willing to learn. Remember, as she said, don't rush through life. Take a moment to be present, cherish your relationships, forgive, and never stop living fully. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And most importantly, take these lessons with you today. You never know how a small change in perspective can alter the course of your life. We'll see you next time.